They came across the sea to the other side. As Jesus was stepping out of the boat, immediately a man among the tombs with an unclean spirit met him.
He lived among the tombs, and no one could restrain him anymore, not even with a chain. For he'd often been restrained with shackles and chains, but the chains he wrenched apart, and the shackles he broke into pieces. And no one had the strength to subdue him. Night and day, among the tombs and on the mountains, he was always howling, and beating himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and bowed down to him and shouted at the top of his voice, "Jesus, Son of the Most High God, what have you to do with me? I adjure you, in the name of God, do not torment me."
For Jesus had said to him, "Come out of the man, you unclean spirits." Then Jesus asked, "What is your name?"
He replied, "My name is Legion, for we are many. For we are many.
For we
For
are
we
many.
are many. For we are many. For we are many." And he earnestly begged him not to send them out of the country. Now, there on the hillside, a great herd of swine was feeding. And the unclean spirit said, "Send us into the swine. Let us go into them."
And he gave them permission. And the unclean spirits came out of the man and entered into the swine and rushed down the steep bank into the sea and were drowned in the sea.
Then the swineherders ran off and told it in the city and in the country. And those who heard it came to see what had happened. When they came to Jesus, they saw the demoniac sitting there, clothed and in his right mind, the very man who had had the legion. And they were afraid. Then those who saw what happened to the demoniac and what happened to the swine went and reported it. And the people began to beg Jesus to leave their neighborhood.
As Jesus was getting into the boat, the man who had been possessed by demons begged him, "Let me be with you." But Jesus refused and said to him, "Go home to your friends. Tell them what the Lord has done for you and what mercy God has given you."
So he went away and began to proclaim in the Decapolis all that Jesus had done for him. And everyone was amazed.
When Jesus crossed again in the boat to the other side, a great crowd gathered, and he was by the sea.
Then one of the leaders of the synagogue, named Jairus, came to where Jesus was. And when he saw him, he fell down at his feet and begged him repeatedly, "My little daughter is at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her, that she may be made well and live." And Jesus went with him. And the crowds started pressing in on them.
Now, there was a woman who had had hemorrhages for 12 years. And she had endured much from many physicians. And she'd spent all that she had, and she was getting no better, but rather was getting worse. She'd heard about Jesus, and she came from behind in the crowd and touched his cloak. For she had said, if I could just touch his clothes, I would be healed. Immediately, the hemorrhage stopped, and she felt in her body that she had been healed.
Immediately, feeling the power having gone out of his body, Jesus turned to the crowd and said, "Who touched me?" The disciples said to him, "Rabbi, you see the crowd pressing in on you, and you ask who touched me?" But Jesus looked around to see who had done it.
And the woman, knowing what had happened to her, came with fear and trembling and fell down at his feet and told him the whole truth.
Jesus said, "Woman, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your disease."
While he was speaking, some people came from the leader's house to say, "Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further?"
But overhearing this, Jesus said to the leader of the synagogue, "Do not fear, only believe." And he allowed no one to follow him except Peter, James, and John, the brother of James.
They came to the house of the leader of the synagogue, and they saw this commotion, people weeping and wailing loudly.
When Jesus entered the house, he said, "Why do you make a commotion and weep? The child is not dead, but merely sleeping."
And they laughed at him. They laughed at him.
Then Jesus put everyone outside. And then he took the child's father and the child's mother and those who were with him and went into where the child was. And he took the child by the hand and said to her, "Talitha cum," which means, "Little girl, get up."
And she immediately got up, and she began to walk around. She was 12 years old. At that, they were overcome with amazement.
But Jesus strictly warned them that no one should know about this. And he told them to give her something to eat. Good job, girlfriend. The word of God for the people of God.